Hey guys, it's Linica here. I wanted to give my opinions real quick about what's going on in Texas. I've seen a lot of posts about animals being left behind, and it's one thing to call somebody who had to leave or who left their dog behind, nasty names and whatnot, and to condemn and ridicule them. That's understandable. It's easy to evacuate a dog or a cat. You throw them in the car and you go. There's no reason to leave behind a dog or a cat. Just because they're so easy to take with you. There's just really no excuse for it. However, I keep seeing these posts of horses and cows that got left behind, or other farm animals, other livestock, and people are like wishing the most horrible fates on their owners, saying the owners were terrible people for leaving them behind. But I don't think most of these people have any experience with livestock or how livestock are handled. I don't think many of these people live outside of a city or a suburb. You guys have no idea what it's like to have livestock. When you're told to get out at the last second, it's almost impossible to get livestock out like that. People like to say, oh, well, they had a lot of time. I've lived through hurricanes. I lived on the coast of North Carolina. I've been through a lot of hurricanes. When a hurricane goes from category 2 to a category 4 overnight, you're fucked. I've been through category 2 and 3 hurricanes in a fucking trailer. Okay? A category 2 or a category 3 hurricane isn't a whole lot to be worried about. I mean, we would go through town and see a bit of flooding through town and see a couple of buildings with their roofs gone, but it wasn't total devastation. It's completely different when you hit a category 4. It's like, a category 5 tornado versus a category 3. Like, it's just totally different levels of destruction, and they come in fast. And this was right before Harvey hit Texas. And not only did it hit as a category 4, it stayed for a long time, which is where they're getting all these massive amounts of flooding. Places that haven't seen flooding in 500 years are getting flooded. And people think, oh, well, how hard can it be to get your animals to safety? I would never leave my animals behind. I have a plan for my animals, yada yada. Bullshit, okay? How many of you people have horses? How many of you have cows? You guys don't understand that most people with livestock do not have enough trailer space to move all of their animals at a second's notice off their property. It's just unrealistic. Think about how many farmers have 100 cows, 1,000 cows, 2,000 cows. Do you think they just have trailers upon trailers upon trailers sitting there in some parking lot on their property just waiting to take these horses away? No, they don't. I don't even know many horse people who have enough trailer space to move their horses off their property at a moment's notice, all of them at one time. It takes a lot of planning. I have 2 horses. I don't have a trailer because one of my horses is a draft horse. She is the largest breed of horse on the planet. You can't just buy any willy-nilly trailer horse and load her up in it and go. She needs a specially made trailer that is 8 feet tall and 8 feet wide. Most trailers are like 7 feet tall, maybe. To get a little rinky-dink 2-horse trailer big enough to tote my horse anywhere would cost us at least $12,000. And we can't just buy them used. They don't come up. Every 5 or 6 years you might see a used trailer for sale, but they're still costing tens of thousands of dollars. We just didn't have that kind of money. And why should I? Why should I go and pay $12,000 when I can pay somebody to ship them somewhere, I can pay the vet to come out and see him, and I can pay the farrier to come out and see him? I'm not taking her to any shows. There was no reason for me to run off and get a trailer as soon as I had her. So I know, a lot of horse breeders, they might have a 6-8 horse trailer, sure, but they might have 20 horses on their property. It takes a lot of time and effort and planning to get all your animals out, and it takes time. You don't just load a horse up, bam, willy-nilly. Only the best horses in the world do that. It takes some convincing for most horses to get them onto a trailer. Which, you start adding in the number of horses you gotta move. Cows are even worse. You're talking about a lot of time just to load up your animal, just to even get on the road. And people just don't have enough trailer space for all these animals. And it's just not logistic. It doesn't make any sense to have, enough trailers on hand at any given moment to move 100 animals. It makes no sense to have that. And these people keep condemning these people, telling them how horrible they are, and I would never do that. You don't know. You haven't been in that position, okay? And then I keep hearing this crap about, well, they could have asked for help. You are giving the world a whole lot more credit than it deserves. I'm sorry, but people are not that helpful. They are not that giving. The people you're seeing down there in the floodwaters getting dogs and stuff out of the water, they are the exception. They are not the rule. I hear so many people who say, I would help animals if I had the opportunity, but given the chance, they never fucking do. They don't help people. And I've got proof of it. I mean, and it's still not even that simple. I mean, there might be people who will ship an at-risk animal for a reduced price, but I haven't met anybody who will ship one just for free. And then if you have horses and cows, you have to know where the hell you're going to put them. Tell me, if you have horses and you had to leave your house, and even if you were able to load them all up, where the hell would you take them? I mean, you can't just pull up in your mother's yard and be like, hey, here's my 20 horses. Can they stay in your yard for a little bit? It doesn't work that way. You have to know where to take them. And then if you take them to a place, that will let you bring your horses there, or your cows there, or your goats there, or your sheep there, or whatever the hell else you got, you have to worry that their animals might infect yours with something. You don't know what kind of diseases their animals have. And people say, well, there's got to be people around them who could have helped them. Sure. The people who have trailers, though, to move livestock, have their own fucking livestock to move, though. See, the thing is 2 months ago, we moved across the country from Missouri to New York. And we've been living here with my sister-in-law until we could find a place. And we moved here with our dog, an Alaskan Malamute, to South Buffalo. And we have our 2 horses. We left them back in Missouri because you cannot find boarders reliably with just using the internet. You need to get to the area to find these places. And plus, we weren't exactly sure where the hell we were going to be living yet. So we did the responsible thing. We left them back in Missouri with somebody who agreed to hold on to them for a while. We came up to New York and we started house hunting. Well, a month into house hunting, we found 2 places that would allow our dog. After contacting well over 50, we found 2 places that would allow our dog. Either because of her size or just because she was an Alaskan Malamute. And one of them was in a terrible, terrible school district. And we have a daughter going into kindergarten this year, so we couldn't live there. And the other one was almost $900 a month for less than 700 square feet. I had a place lined up for my horses. We had saved up $2,000 to move my horses. But here's the kicker. Just before we moved, my dog hurt her leg. Nothing new there. They're prone to issues with their legs. But this time the pain wasn't going away. So the day after we arrived in Buffalo, I took her to an emergency vet on a Sunday. And they told me she had torn her ACL. Just wonderful. So they did the x-rays and everything, cost $380. Bring her home, she's doing good for a week. Starts limping again, gets real bad. Had to take her back. She had re-torn it. Made it worse. Had to change the medication. This put our bill up above $400. Well, not a week and a half later, she got suddenly and extremely very ill. She was diagnosed with leptospirosis, which is transmittable to both animals and people and extremely contagious. She had to be hospitalized and quarantined, and she was suffering from extreme kidney failure, and the only way they knew how much damage had been done to her kidneys, or if her kidneys were salvageable, was to treat her for a few days and see if she got better, and she didn't. We treated her for 3 days. We even upped her medication halfway through, and she did not get better, and we had to end up putting her down. Those 3 days, along with her 2 previous vet bills, had us spending more than $2,300 in less than a month on our dog. A whole bunch of things completely out of our control. That was $2,000 that we had saved up to ship our horses from Missouri to New York. Well, I let the people back in Missouri know what was going on, and they said, "Oh, I'm real sorry to hear about that. By the way, we want your horses gone by October." What the hell was I supposed to do? We didn't have the money to ship them anymore. So I started a GoFundMe page and begged every single day. The 473 people on my Facebook page, who are mostly horse people, who all claim to be animal lovers, and a whole bunch claim to be really great, good Christians. You want to know how many people helped at all? I mean, I wasn't asking everybody to come donate $10, $20, $30, $50. I said, guys, please donate just $1. If you can't even do that, just share my link. Please share it. Please, we need help. Our horses will have nowhere to go. Horses who have nowhere to go to the auction house, and they go to slaughter. I had 5 people share my link. One of whom was my mother. 2 were extremely close friends. And as of this morning, I had the 4th person donate. They donated $5, and God bless them for doing it. And I had one person donate $30, my mom donated $20, and another person donated another $20. So in all, in 2 weeks, I've raised $55 from all these supposed horse-loving, animal-loving, compassionate people, good Christian people. And nobody will even do me the favor of just sharing the link. I don't care if they can't donate, but share the link so that somebody else might be able to help out. So my horses don't get just left off somewhere and get sent to slaughter. And you think that hundreds or thousands of farmers and horse people and people with livestock down in Texas are going to have a whole lot more help than that? You're out of your damn mind. I know from experience that the world is not full of as many helpful people as everyone likes to believe. A whole lot of people out there say, well, I love animals, I would do anything to help an animal in need, yada yada yada. Bullshit. I'm not going to be so quick to judge those people down in Texas. They didn't have the warning that everybody thought they had. That hurricane changed from a Cat 2 to a Cat 5 overnight. You don't get warning for that kind of shit. And then they didn't have enough time to get all their animals out. They had to get the fuck out. Save their own damn lives. And people say, well, they could have opened the gates and let the animals have their chance or whatever. I'm sorry, but some of these are like mile-wide stretches of freaking 12-foot deep water. The animals had no choice, no chance. And I'm grateful for the people down there rescuing the dogs and cats, but it's a whole lot easier to rescue a dog or a cat. Chuck them in the boat. You don't just chuck a cow into a boat. Don't be so quick to condemn and judge people. You don't know what the hell they're going through. Most people don't have a huge network at their beck and call to come move all of their animals at a moment's notice. If you're so convinced that, you know, they had an option, why aren't you their option? Why aren't you down there getting those animals out? Why weren't you down there helping them move their animals when they had a hurricane bearing down on them? Don't be so quick to condemn people. A lot of people just had no choice.